of Association of Community Pharmacists for India in collaboration with Community Pharmacy Division, Indian Pharmaceuticals. I warmly welcome our guest, Dr. Suresh Sarodekar, sir, Principal Dr. Akesomani, sir. Social pharmacy is the one course which is introduced in ER 2020, and for the effective teaching learning process, today's talk is organized. For this, we invite eminent person, Dr. Sarodekar, sir. Before the brief introduction of our guest, I would now kindly request our principal, Dr. Akesomani, sir, to address the audience.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So very warm good morning to one and all present on this platform. I, on behalf of Western Regional Center of Association of Community Pharmacists of India, as well as the IPA CPD chapter of D.Y. Patil University School of Pharmacy in Navi Mumbai, welcome all of you, all the participants and our speaker today for this very eventful event, I should say. Because as you all know that social pharmacy has been recently included in the syllabus of diploma pharmacy in the terms of Education Regulation 2020. And so it was a big question in the mind of all academicians that how this particular syllabus should be taught, as it is moreover a practical oriented. And that's why this today's program has been organized. Let me also welcome Dr. Mahadev Bhatt all the way from USA today, who is our mentor of WRC ACPI, Shri Sagar Kulkarni, who is also one of the mentors of the WRC ACPI for this particular program. I welcome all the faculty members from different colleges across Maharashtra. Though the attendance in the beginning is a little bit less, I'm expecting that many more to join as we proceed in the program. And thank you the entire team of WRC ACPI, particularly the core team, for helping us to organize this program. Without further ado, I request Madam to please take it further. Thank you so much. You are mute, Madam.
Mute. Thank you, sir. I would like to take opportunity to introduce our expert for the day, Dr. Suresh Sarodekar, sir, Vice Chairman, Hospital Division IPA, Honorary Consultant, Institute of Medical Sciences, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. From 1978 to 2012, he was the Assistant Director, Ministry of the Medical Education and Research, Drugs and Health State of Maharashtra. After 2012, he was Consultant, Public Health Care Services. Main task was development of standard operating procedure for quality procurement management, storage and inventory control, and for rational use medicines for all hospital under these healthcare services. In 2012, Ministry of Health Maharashtra. In 2014 to 15, Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai for 1 year for 3 medical colleges, 18 major hospitals and 200 health centers for 1 year. In 2015-16, Ministry of Defense, New Delhi, for 1 year for all ministry hospitals. In 2016-17, Ministry of Health, Telangana State, Ministry of Medical Education, Maharashtra, April 2017 to August 2017, and till date. Honorary Consultant, Institute of Medical Science, Banaras, Hindu University, Varanasi. Consultant Private Healthcare Services, Pharmaceuticals and Medical Device Industry. He has total 5 research papers published in the International Journal and the 3 published books. He also contributes to social services, work as the director, the Rural Center Krishnamurti Foundation India, Rajgarh, Varanasi. He introduced concept of Star Health Card for the primary school students. He is head of Srushti Gram Arogya Project, January 2021 to till date. Now, I would request our honorable guest, Dr. Sarodekar, sir, to guide us the audience faculties with his proficient words.
Thank you. Let me share the slide first. Okay, good morning to all. And I'm really thankful to Dr. Somani and his team and also this platform for arranging my talk. I'm really passionate about this pharmacy profession since beginning. Last 40 years, I am working in hospital division, and probably I am might be the only person who has worked from the simple pharmacist cadre to the assistant director and developed all these. So during this process, a lot of things learned and a lot of things I found out that which need to be implemented so that our pharmacy profession can be on the top of the medical services like it is in rest of the world. Presently, it is not. That's why I call it as the present social pharmacy syllabus, not only syllabus, but there is a overall disconnect between real health and medicine needs, and that is reflected in social pharmacy syllabus too. Now, let's see, what is the social pharmacy? Social pharmacy, as I defined it as, this has been defined on the basis of social medicine. So I have replaced only the medicine word with the pharmacy. So what is social pharmacy? It is an organized investigation. It is an investigation of global, national.
Sorry to interrupt. Your presentation is not moving if you have started it.
Sorry,
not
your
first slide is being seen here. I mean, title slide is seen.
But how is that?
Probably, I don't know. You have
now can you see?
Not yet, sir. Not yet. I mean, your only title slide is seen now.
Okay.
Since you have started defining what is social pharmacy, I'm able to see it on the left corner, but not here in the main screen. So just click it again. You click.
I'll just
click the second slide and try to show it. I don't know. Yeah. Now, yes. Now I'm able to see it. What is social pharmacy?
Now, what is social pharmacy? As I told you that it defined on the basis of social medicine. It is the organized investigation of the global, national, social, and community and environmental factors that are influencing medication management of disease and disorders. So it is basically, first of all, you have to investigate, and which has to be organized. Then based on this investigation, develop and promotion of methods for prevention of disease and health measures, which will be protective of an individual and community. And third is to develop national policies based on these. These are the three important pillars of the social pharmacy. First is organized investigation, then develop the methods, and third is the develop the national policies or help in developing national policies. Now, what is the organized investigation of current global, national? So that we'll see. For that, what are the shortcomings and gaps in the current status of national health care services policies of India? Let's see. First, now you can see now, sir, slides.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, what is the disease profile of India? Mostly we are faced with communicable diseases, mainly malaria, kala ajar, dengue, and chikungunya. Then dengue, with which cost of last 2 decades, it is again coming up. The total number of cases of deaths because of chickenpox is 74,000 and 92 respectively in 2017. Then total number of cases of deaths due to encephalitis is 12,000. Total number of cases of deaths due to viral meningitis. So this still, especially in rural areas, malaria, kala ajar is more prominent in Bihar. Dengue, chikungunya is coming in metro cities also. Then these communicable diseases is incidence. This is national figures. The mortality, disease mortality is about in acute respiratory infections because of bacterial infections, acute diarrhea 10%, pneumonia 23%, enteric fever 4%, Japanese encephalitis, which is again common in Bihar and north part of the India, is 12%. Then encephalitis syndrome, then meningitis, meningococcal meningitis is 6%, H1N1, that is again a respiratory disease 6%, encephalitis 5%, tetanus neonatal 3%, and diphtheria. Same is the case if you can see the total number of deaths. When you see viral hepatitis causes about 1.5 lakhs deaths, in pneumonia around 7 lakh deaths, whooping cough around 28,000, measles 22,000, syphilis 20,000, gonorrhea and leprosy cases at around 1 lakh. So this is the non-communicable diseases, which contribute to say 50% of the total. Now communicable diseases are also coming in. The last one was the communicable diseases. Now non-communicable diseases are also coming, which is what is the incidence of non-communicable diseases? The communicable diseases are because of the community problems like bacterial diseases and all those. And non-communicable diseases are what we call it as the lifestyle diseases. And what is the incidence? Diabetes in India is around 8.4%. Then hypertension is 10%, coming cardiovascular diseases 0.37%, strokes 0.13%. Then common cancers are also coming in big ways as 11%. Accidental deaths and 4 lakhs are coming up. Then suicidal deaths are 1,33%. So this is non-communicable diseases are also coming in a big way. So they contribute around 30 to 40%. So Indian health infrastructure. So now this is the demand, health demand. Now how is the health infrastructure? What do we call it as the unequal distribution has been found in the public and private. Why I say is that the total number of hospitals, the private is 98% of the healthcare is done by private hospitals, that is 98%, and public health or government hospital is only 2%. The clinics, if you measure in India, the total number of clinics are private are 80% and public, that is government, is 20%. Indian, then when you look at the total number of beds, the urban, that is in metro cities, it is 61%, and rural, it is only 40%. Big corporate hospitals contribute to the metro cities, and they are around 80% in metro cities, but only 24% big hospitals you will find in the other 2-tier cities, not in the rural even. Then what we look at is the human resources, like doctor, pharmacists, nurses. The pharmacist is contribute to the 13%, doctors 16%, dentist 4%, Ayush doctor 12%, and nurses 55%. The number of colleges, medical colleges are 476%, 76, that is 7% of the total colleges. Pharmacy colleges contribute to the, I'll just PPT there.
I think your PPT is not moving, sir. That's what I am seeing.
Not moving. Now you see? You see now?
Not moving.
Oh, sir.
Not
Now,
moving.
second slide, that what is social pharmacy, that is only there. Jyoti madam, please check it. Jyoti madam.
Now all the slides which I have shown, not seen.
Sir, that slide is visible, sir. But when you just start the new topic, na, at that time slide is as it is. That means second slide is here, sir. That second slide is only visible.
Sir, I will tell you, आता फक्त social pharmacy ची slide दिसते तुम्हाला आमच्या समोर. What is social pharmacy? जी तुमची दुसरी slide होती, that I am able to see now.
And
So
rest of the slides which I talked about, you can't see?
No, no.
Huh?
No.
At the statistical data on communicable diseases.
No, sir.
सरवडेकर सर, तुमच्या राईट हँड साइडला कॉर्नर मध्ये लोअरला ते 60% वगैरे आहे ना, तिथे लास्ट वाला जो ऑप्शन आहे तो क्लिक करा ना, सो स्लाइड शो तुमचा चालू होईल.
1 minute.
राईट हँड साइडला डाऊन.
राईट हँड साइडला
डाऊन तिथे स्केलची लाईन आहे ना, त्याच्या बाजूला जे लास्ट वाला ऑप्शन आहे बघा, तिथे स्लाइड शो येईल तुम्हाला.
Windows in workplace. Meet now, right? Slideshow option. I have got the. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Now,
sir.
1 minute.
That's
1
that
minute.
is we are able to see now.
Here. Now, this one.
11 slide is here visible, sir. 11 slide.
No, but the slideshow is here. That's you are saying, na? Reading now, reading view. Then this is, I think.
Next one. Yeah.
Now the rest of the slides, which I already covered, need to again show.
No,
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, still slideshow is not there.
Not shown?
Sorry to interrupt you. Saudega sir, you unshare your files, then again click on share and share your whole screen. Then it is possible to go into the slide mode. Sir.
Okay, okay. 1 minute. Huh?
You unshare it and then share as a whole screen. Don't share it as only one single file.
1 minute. So to close this, no?
Stop.
Yes, unshare it.
Stop sharing.
No,
Stop.
sir. Just no need to close it. Just cut sharing. Whatever screen you are sharing, just step down from the Zoom meeting. There you unshare it, and then return. Try to share for whole screen.
1 minute. Huh?
Nita, why don't you guide sir step by step so that it can be done? Or otherwise, sir, you can share PPT with us. We will run the PPT. You can
No,
see.
that is better now to explain. Just let me try.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now, why it is not showing the screen?
Sir, you are in Zoom meeting, na? So at Zoom meeting, there is a downside one column, mute, video, share, participant. So on share, you need to be unshare it.
No, no, the Zoom meeting is not coming. Na? That's what I was trying to do.
Sir, it's maybe on your yes,
Now it's okay.
yes.
So now what I have to do is that they is asking requesting remote control of your screen. That I have to approve, na?
Yes, you can approve. Otherwise, you can. There is a share column. On that share column, just click it.
Yeah, share is there.
So click and share whole screen, not only PPT.
No, but it is not asking share whole screen, na? Share.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Your
Yes.
screen share.
It's correct. So now you can open your PPT.
Okay, okay. Now start. One minute. I am not able to opening it. I don't know.
Double click or enter, sir.
So I am doing double click now. It's not opening. One minute. I close and again come. Now it is coming. Now I have to go to slideshow, na?
Yes. Yes, that is fine now.
Now it is okay.
Yes, sir, it's okay. So you can go to the 11 number of slides where we are.
Okay. So now you have seen this. Now you can see now. All of you can see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now I just go through this, whatever I talked to. So it is social pharmacy is an organized investigation for a global national level and develop and promotion of methods and develop the national policies based on that. So now what are the shortcomings and gaps in the current healthcare system that we'll see in national healthcare services and policies in India? Now the most of the communicable diseases How we can remove this, downwards? Okay. So now the communicable diseases contribute to the, say, 50% that I have already talked. And this is the percentage: respiratory infections 23%, diarrhea 10%, pneumonia. So communicable diseases mainly caused by bacteria and insanitation and all those factors. And total number of deaths because of this viral hepatitis, pneumonia, 7 lakh, 1 lakh viral hepatitis. So this is the picture of communicable diseases, which contribute around 50 to 60% in rural areas, and rest is non-communicable diseases, which is coming in a big way. That is disease incidence. For example, diabetes is now 8.4%, hypertension 10%, cardiovascular diseases 0.37%, stroke 13%, common cancers are also coming 11%, accidental deaths are about 4 lakhs, and suicidal deaths are also coming. So mental diseases are also coming. So there is a communicable as well as non-communicable. Before 50, so say 20 years, the communicable diseases were the main. Now non-communicable diseases are also coming. But what is the infrastructure? There is unequal distribution. Now if you look at the hospitals, only government hospitals are only 2%. Rest of the 98% are the private hospitals. Look at the clinics. 20% of the clinics are owned by the government and 80% are private. Then at the total number of beds, in terms of beds, if you calculate, 40% are only in rural, and urban it is 60%. Big corporate hospitals are also concentrated in metro cities. They are about 80% in metro cities and only 20% in rural, that too tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Now, if you look at the human resources also, it is also inadequate. When the pharmacists are contribute to the 13%, doctors 16%, dentists 4%, Ayush doctors 12%, and nurses 55%. If you look at the number of colleges, there are about medical colleges 476, which contribute to 70%, dental colleges 313, 4%, nursing colleges are 3,215, which are 46%, and pharmacy colleges are also many, that is 3,000, which corresponds to 43%. So that is the human resources. Then this potential, the pharmacy council has, why there is so much of pharmacy council, pharmacy colleges, Pharmacy Council of India permitting new courses for the same old job of dispensing medicine in the hospital or industry without giving serious thought to the employment generation. There is no employment potential. So what PCI data shows is that there are about 3,077 diploma colleges. Total seats is 1,80,000. Around 2,000 degree colleges corresponds to 2,25,000. 875 MPharm colleges, then 267 Pharm D, total seats are around 8,000. So total number of pharmacists per year is around 3 lakhs, which are coming into the, you can say, for employment. But the jobs description has been not defined properly, so employment potential is not there. So now what is the current status of services of healthcare? The shortcoming in the healthcare, that no ratio defined in pharmacists, no specific job like number of pharmacists to the number of beds or number of patients, that has been not defined by Pharmacy Council. The working conditions are very poor in the hospital. Then private hospitals, they will be given minimum or mandatory number of qualified pharmacists, and as per the NABH accreditation, whatever required, but minimum. The most stores are managed by commerce graduate and materials managers. In public hospitals, their status is not more than a compounder. Even if I have worked in, but I was lucky to work in medical colleges, so our status was better. But if you go to the public hospital like district hospital, they are no more than a compounders, though they are treated as a pharmacy officers and all, the designation has been changed, but their job structure is the same. Now, national health policy doesn't give importance to the pharmacy profession. So there are ASHA workers, there are even Ayurvedic doctors have been absorbed at the public health, but pharmacist profession has been upgraded. There is lax regulation resulting in paradoxical situation. What is that? On one side, no employment to qualified graduates, and other side, most community pharmacy services in slums are run by the unqualified pharmacists, which are called Jhola shop pharmacists or Jhola shop the other way. So why this situation? What are the shortcomings of public healthcare services? What you can see, the expenditure on the government on a public health is very low. If you look at the expenditure per GDP in rest of the countries, top countries, in Sweden, it is 9.2% of the GDP. France, 8.7. Denmark, 8.7. Belgium, 8.6. Netherlands, 8.6. Switzerland, 8.5. Norway, 8.5. USA, 8.5. UK, 7.6. And Australia. Look at the other small countries like Maldives, even 9.4%. Thailand, 2.9. Bhutan, 2. Sri Lanka, 1.6%. Indonesia, 1.1%. And India is 1%. Now it has been slightly increased over a period of last 10 years from 1.2%, but there is a slight. It was 2009 to 10, 1.12, 1.07, again reduced. Then to 14, 15, it was 98, 15 signs. So now it is around 1.5. So still we are lagging. So that's why the public healthcare system has not got funds. So that is not developing. So what are the shortcomings because of this? That is insufficient political commitment to provide sufficient funds, resulting in coverage of only 25% to 30% of the total population by government hospitals. So failure to regulate the healthcare establishment. So there is no regulation. There is no, the government has enacted the Clinical Establishment Act, but it has not been followed all over, by all the states, because state is the health subject. The central government has implemented the Clinical Establishment Act. A pharmacy graduate or I am audible? Hello?
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And slides are there, no? No.
Yes, sir.
So to continue low, that's why the continuing low status of women there, then so slow socio-economic developments are there, difficulty in achieving intersectoral actions for health, unbalanced distribution of and weak support from human resources, very low status, widespread inadequacy of health promotion activities, weak health information system also, no baseline data is available. If you ask for the particular how many COVID patients, now it has been coming up. But if you ask for the HIV patients or other dengue patients, that data will be not immediately available. There is a pollution, poor food safety, and lack of water. So unaffordable healthcare cost. There is a domination of private sector or health service delivery. And during 86 to 87, the cost of hospitalization in a private facility as compared to the public is around 2.3% higher. And in the rural areas, it is 3.1% higher. So you go into the more and more into rural areas, the cost of hospitalization will be more. In 2014, the cost of hospitalization in private facility increased from 4.2 times as compared to the public. So whatever, if you suppose you spend 10,000 into the public hospital, you have to spend about 40,000 in private hospitals. So disease-wise cost analysis shows the cost of some of the diseases in private facilities around 8 times higher. Now take the example of even cesarean. Cesarean, if you do in a private government hospital, there will be zero cost or maybe minimum 500,000. But if you do in private hospital, it will be 50,000. So the cost is also disease-wise is high. The rising cost of healthcare services have become unaffordable to general population. So what are the consequences of this unequal, unaffordable Indian healthcare services? First, we have on one side the highly sophisticated hospital, on other side the public health hospitals are run at the very shanty places. On one side, you will find that there is a highly developed neonatal center, but in a private hospital, the baby is being carried out in some thermocol box. The other side, you can see there is a highly developed ambulance system or health system, but there is a today only I read one news that the father is carrying a dead body because non-availability of ambulance. He has to carry the dead body of his daughter on the cycle. So see the disparity in because of this. Then on one side, there is the obesity, and other side, there is the malnutrition, rural areas. So in Indian economy, there is a lot of discrepancies going on, disparities going on. So the green revolution has got a sufficient availability of food to all population, but the technological development has, what has been done, the technology has changed the food habits. Our balanced food habit has been changed and gone to the McDonald's and Chinese food and burgers and pizzas. And this has resulted into non-communicable diseases. So on one side, you find that malnutrition, and another side, it is found that malnutrition because of MALL, MALL, MALL. So India has 14% its population undernourished on one side, and 34% children on 5 are stunted. And obesity is also coming in the big way as 4%, 5%, especially in metro cities. So we are facing both anemia, malnutrition, as well as the obesity. So that's what I told you, the communicable diseases as well as non-communicable diseases. The environmental hazards are coming, like industrial pollutions. There are about close to 800 chemicals thrown into the environment and causes different interfering with our hormonal receptors, hormone systems. Then there is the overuse of insecticides. In Punjab has increased because of the wheat production. The number of cancer patients has been increased from 7,700 in 2009 to 23,000, and more than 33,000 deaths have occurred. Why? This is because of high use of, or you can say use of insecticide is so rampant that you will find that the air is polluted with insecticide, the water is polluted with insecticide. So whatever you are eating, and from Punjab in a Ludhiana district, you will find that there is the highest number of cancer patients, and you will find that at least one patient in each home. And one special cancer express goes from the Punjab to the other part, that is to carry the cancer patients. Then IT-related health hazards are coming in a big way, like internet, social networking, leading to physical activity, stress, overworking, sleepless, then mental problems, suicidals. So then tobacco, alcohol is already there. So these are the different other health hazards coming in a big way. So but at the same time, the people are having money. Some of the people they have having, you about the poor people, but they are not able to convert that money into the proper, or you can say positive impact. That is what we call it as a conversion index, handicap. They got a money, but they are not using it to the positively. What I mean, India has the highest number of mobiles and lowest number of toilets. So secondly, people choose mobile or TV building toilet. So if they get a money, they first of all will buy maybe mobile or TV and not build the toilets. Then people will choose junk food or balanced diet. So even in rural areas now I am working, find that the Chinese shops are coming everywhere. Then physical appearance or external looks over the right exercise. They are going for the cosmetics and all those things, but not the health. People choose medical care over the health care. So they have got, some of the people, they have got money, but they are not able to convert into the positive impact. They are not using it properly. That's why we call it as a conversion handicap. So globally as well as locally, where do we stand? The technological pandemic is pushing us from healthcare to medical care. What I mean to the healthcare means promotion of the positive health, and medical care means hospitalization, then use of medicines, use of different tests. So that has been increased, and health promotion has not increased. Now we have got a super specialty hospitals, like advancement the treatment. We have got one patient and so many doctors. There is a separate doctor for kidney specialist, heart specialist, ENT specialist. Now we are coming with the pediatric cardiologist, pediatric ophthalmologist. So now there will be geriatric ophthalmologist. So the advancement, the treatment is going on. We are going minutely. The technology is changing so rapidly. Like we have got drugs for treatment as well as drug for the side effects. Now this cartoon says, the Glaxo pills protects my heart from the side effects of the Pfizer pill. That prevents potential liver failure due to Merck pill. That minimizes the risk stroke posed by Novartis pill. And that reduces the blood clots caused by the Glaxo pill. Ultimately, there are drugs for the treatment and drugs for the side effects of the drug. So ultimately, I don't know where I am standing now. Similarly, hello? Hello? Then there is also too much of diagnostic testing is going on. So now this test is, this cartoon says that offhand, I can see you are suffering from an arrow through your head, but just to play safe, I am ordering some bunch of tests. So people are exposed to so many diagnostic tests unnecessarily. Now this is the see. Now we are going into the very much hardwares and replacement of the organs and all those. Now this cartoon is very, very, you can say, give the message. The patient says that I don't know who am I. I have a donor heart. I have a donor kidney. I have a donor liver. I have a donor cornea. I have got a donor liver. So what is that I am? So this shows the clear picture. So now everything is that the patient is also feeling that he is taking the degree from WhatsApp University and Google University and feeling that he knows everything. Now this is the condition of the patient, see, mindset. The patient says to the doctor, I already diagnosed myself on the internet. I am only here for a second opinion. See, so this is the status of the patient. Now medical fraternity is also causing problems. They are feeling lost. Now the doctor is saying, the other doctor, the patients know more about their diseases than me. I must get faster modem, higher speed internet access than them. So the technology is pushing us more and more, and the gap is becoming wider and wider. So what are the shortcomings and gaps of the current status of national health drug policies? Now we have seen the health policies. Now we are pushing into the drug policies. So now the pharmaceutical market is captured by very few countries like Europe, Japan, and America, and some part of the northern countries. Very few countries into the world pharmaceutical market research. Now, more than half of the global sales is by the top 10 global companies from developed countries like US, Germany, Japan. Naturally, the medicine research is also concentrated in only 5 to 7 technologically developed countries only. The most of the, or 99.9% research is going on in these developed countries. Hence, in last 50 years, hardly any new drugs is invented to target disease prevalent in developed countries. Like tuberculosis, you will find that only one drug has been developed for tuberculosis. Malaria, it is not prevalent in the developed countries. So hardly artemisinin is the one drug which has been developed, not by developed countries, but China, because the malaria is prevalent in China. Then there is no drug treatment for dengue, chikungunya, Japan encephalitis, then leptospirosis, leprosy. So no new drugs are coming for this. Only drugs which are being invented for the drug diseases which are prevalent into the developed countries. Still, no effective drugs are available for Kala Azar. Thousands of the children are dying because of Kala Azar in Bihar, but no treatment is available for Kala Azar, Japanese encephalitis, and all those diseases. So there is a negligence at the domestic health needs. Medicine research for new drugs. Thousands of the children are dying per year in Bihar and few other parts of this India. Still, no effective medicines are invented for diseases like Kala Azar and Japanese encephalitis. And there are around 450 orphan diseases prevalent in India for which there is no treatment available. So medicine research for new drug is not targeted to the actual health needs. During last 50 years, hardly any new drug is invented for this, as I told you. The pharmacy research for new formulations is also no palatable and acceptable pediatric dosage forms available for most medicines, antivirals, anti-tuberculosis, anticonvulsants. I worked in a government hospitals. We have to break the tablet of HIV and give to the children. We have to give the powder form of this by making dosage form. No pediatric dosage forms are available. Even the pharmacy research, I don't know what pharmacy research is going on and what they are doing in that. The adult dose tablets are broken and powder and given to the children. Why pharmacy colleges cannot formulate pediatric palatable dosage forms like lozenges, medicated biscuits, or milkshakes? I don't know. The research is also dominated to not to the needs actually, but to the market. So now, according to USA, the new drugs are introduced. What are these? They are all non-essential drugs. Like this is the US FDA data only tells that. The new drugs introduced into the year 1908 to 2000 and recently also will be the same. Only 14% are they are innovative. Rest 86% are similar to the existing ones. So they are called as Me Too drugs. Like omeprazole, pantoprazole, lisinoprazole, rabeprazole, esomeprazole, slight change in their chemical constituents and you get a new drug. Fluoxetine, paroxetine, reboxetine, deloxetine. Then, so all are irrational dose combinations are available in Indian market. Hello? More than 500 brands containing different combinations of enzymes, vitamins, minerals, and some even Ayurvedic drugs are available. More than 300 brands of different combinations of co-preparations are available. More than 2,000 brands of analgesic, NSAIDs, and non-steroidal are available. So all these are what we call it as a Me Too drugs, not a original drug, and fixed to drug combinations. The market is flooded with Me Too drugs with slight change in their chemical composition and fixed dose combinations. So that is the thing. Then in India, how the new drugs are introduced. So this is a parliamentary committee report which shows that out of the 11 drugs introduced, there was a phase 3 clinical trials were not conducted by CDSCO. 4 drugs clinical trials were not conducted, even opinion of expert was not sought. 2 drugs clinical trials were conducted on just 21 to 46 patients and drugs were introduced. And for 25 drugs, no clinical trials were carried or even medical expert opinion was. But whatever available data on the developed country was put as it is and the drugs were introduced. No, the population studies were done in India. Like that's why the drugs like perfloxacin, levofloxacin, sparfloxacin, when the committee asked, the files were not available. And these 3 drugs are not marketed in any of the developed countries and not even the country who invented. The perfloxacin, lomofloxacin, sparfloxacin were introduced in India, but the country who has invented these drugs are not, their population is not using it. Now, there is a Food Drug Administration central and Food Drug Administration at the state level, but there is a disconnect between central and state level. So there is no central database monitoring drug licensing. So because of that, what happened? This has resulted into giving identical brands for the same generic. For example, in one state, Lona is awarded to low sodium. The other state, Lona is a brand name awarded to clonazepam. The third state, some of the brand name for AZ is given in one state for azithromycin. The same brand name is given to albendazole. The same brand name is given to alprazolam. So there is no central database monitoring. Hence, drug declared say in Maharashtra can be declared as a substandard, can easily marketed in the other neighboring state because there is no central database. Now see, the same trade name Medzol and 5 different types of generic it contains. Medzol in one state, it is etraconazole. Medzol is the trade name given to esomeprazole. Medzol is a trade name given to the metronidazole, and Medzol given albendazole and pantoprazole. Now see the condition of the patient. He takes the prescription for Medzol and goes in Maharashtra, he may get esomeprazole. He goes into Gujarat, he may get albendazole. He go to the UP, he get metronidazole. So there is a lack of, you can say, central database, which is resulting in this case. On the other hand, there is a propagation of use for trivial infections. Like 30% to 50% of information is given only on ADR. Leaflets are not provided. Off-label use is promoted. In India, for example, ciprofloxacin and other higher antibiotics are promoted for trivial infections, whereas in developed countries, it is reserved only for enteric fever. So if you go to the US, if you go to the Europe, this drug ciprofloxacin is reserved only for enteric fever. But India, it is written left and right for all diseases. Ciprofloxacin, norfloxacin eye drop They have been reserved only for corneal ulcers in UK, but in India they are being used in all. In India, FDCs of ciprofloxacin and norfloxacin are marketed by all firms. Next, you see that the market is being pushed with the drugs with earlier time. Healthcare industries are growing at the rate of 20 to 25%. The market has introduced new ways of corruptions. Physicians are routinely given substantial compensation for medical devices companies through stock options, royalty agreements, consulting agreement, research grants, and fellowships. Word or off-label use and over-marketing is resulting over medication. So now in India, before independence, as a result, before independence, we were having only 500 APIs and 10,000 formulations. But today, we are having 2 lakhs different types of formulations in Indian market. So you can see the market is flooded with medicines. So where are we now? Lot of things are available, technological developments. Have you really benefited from technological development? So a lot of things now, super specialty doctors are available, medicines are available, 2 lakhs medicines are in the market. But where do we stand? Now look at this graph. This is a Lancet paper published. The life expectancy all over the world has increased. Like in India, it has increased from 50 to 55. But healthy life expectancy has not increased. In India, life expectancy has increased to 65 years. But the healthy life expectancy has increased only 55. So 10 years less. Like in most of the countries, like take the Zimbabwe, the healthy life expectancy is increased only 3 years. Life expectancy has increased by 10 years. Bangladesh, the life has been extended to 10 years, but life expectancy is only 1 year. Same is the case with India. The life expectancy has increased by 6 years, but the healthy life expectancy is only 0.4%. Switzerland, China, Australia, Italy, it is not the case only all over the world. The expectancy in the healthy life is not increased, even though we have developed so much technologically. Same is the case in the smaller countries. We can skip up that. Now, highest and younger population, but with advanced disability. We have the highest younger population presently. Now, this cartoon says that. The good news is you have the heart of a teenager. The bad news is most teenagers these days have the heart of the old man. So they are having comorbidities, hypertension, blood pressure, and all those. The incidence of this, the extent of medical use has increased the incidence of medication error and adverse reaction. This is the WHO finding that claims that 2.6 million people die every year in middle and low income countries from incorrect medication care. This is because of the multiple polypharmacy and multiple drugs are available at disposal. 5 people die every minute for incorrect medical care. The cost of prescribing the wrong medication alone is $42 billion. In 2000, the Institute of Medicine reported that medical errors were the 8th leading cause of death in US, killing between 44,000 to 98,000 per year. The study by Harvard University shows that, namely, nearly 5 lakh people occur into the India annually due to medication error, triggered by lack of practical knowledge among the doctors and nurses to handle patients when brought to the hospital. So because of this, availability is there, but the proper knowledge is not there. We are lacking. In developed countries, now there is an extent of use of OTC. So what is, according to this OTC is on-the-counter product for which prescription is not required. Now, in developed countries, the extent of use of, according to consumer healthcare products, it is 73% of Americans would rather treat themselves at home rather than seeing the doctor. Daily, 36 million Americans use OTC pain drugs. The misuse is, in 2006, 3.1 million persons aged between 12 to 25 had ever used OTC cough and cold remedies. Addiction, 30,000 people in UK are addicted to OTC drugs. Only 39% of OTC drugs are now purchased in pharmacy. In most of the developed countries, they are available easily into the supermarkets, gas stations, airports, and vending machines also. So easy availability of or on the counter or non-prescription drugs is again pushing the use of medicines. Now, what is the extent of OTC use in India? In rural India, it is up to 73% of the rural populations are purchasing medicine through OTC. In metro, it is about 52% on self-medication. And OTC is a self-medication only. So instead of people going for they will ask for the chemist, give me crocin, give me brufen, like that. The OTC pharmaceutical market is growing, and emerging online market is again coming, and it is pushing into the other direction. In 2016, there were only 4% of online sales, but now it has been increased to 9%, and it will go. Now, during current corona pandemic, the improper use of medication has increased because the proper drugs were not available. Now, we can see this. I will show this 1 minute. Can we see this video? Let me see. I don't think. No, I cannot see. Okay, there was a small video, but I think I will not be able to open that. So what are the consequences of these unequal and unaffordable Indian healthcare services? What we can see is that, sorry, something happened. We are facing health toxicities. On one side, over-availability, rampant, irrational, unscientific and overuse of medicine technologies and medicines. And on the other side, non-availability, poor people are dying because of non-availability of life-saving public health services and essential medicines. So in India alone, public spending on medical care, that is out of pocket, is 80%, because most of the public services are only for only 20%. And that is the highest in the world. And World Bank data shows that in India, out-of-pocket medical costs alone may push 2.2% of the Indian populations below poverty line each year. So it's a huge 2.2% of the population because of unaffordable costs. Now, current status of social pharmacy or community pharmacy, what are they? They are more lost into, on one side, too many medicines, generic medicines, branded medicine, branded generics, and mirror brands. What is this mirror brands? Can you tell? Mirror brands, you know that for a particular generic medicines like say paracetamol, there will be a trade name Dolo or the other trade name Crocin. So too many trade names by different companies. That is branded generic. There will be branded generic again. But what is mirror brands? Mirror brands are the drugs, same generic, same company, but different brands. Like say company A, they are manufacturing a particular drug, say paracetamol. So they will have a brand for hospital market, a brand. Then they will have a different brand name for rural market. They will have third different market for gynecological market, dermatological. So for a particular generic, a company can have many brand names. This can happen only in India. That is called mirror brands. So on the other side, there is a high commission is given from 26% to 80% on MRP to the retail pharmacy. So they will push more and more of these mirror brands and branded generics. So least interested in social aspect of pharmacy profession. So now today's patient, so this is a very good joke which I got in the internet only. The patient asked doctors, "Doctor, the medicine you had written on the left side of the top of my prescription is not available in any pharmacy in Mumbai." Doctor says, "That is not medicine. I was just trying to see if my pain was writing or not, just dawdling." Patient, "What? With this terrible handwriting, I had to go 52 shops to check it out. And Sala, one medical man said that he will get it tomorrow. The another said that this company is now closed. Shall I give you similar medicine from other company? The third one said that there is a huge demand for this medicine. You will get only in black. And the last one, Sala, the fourth one made me jump out of my skin. He said, this medicine is for cancer. Who has cancer at your place? So this is the condition of community pharmacy. So now we have to find, now we have founded the gaps in the systems. Now what are our findings? There is a disconnect at all levels. Life expectancy has increased, but healthy life expectancy has not increased. National health policies and national drug policies. Here a simple example. In India, the national health policy is designed by Family and Healthcare Department, Ministry of Family and Healthcare. Whereas national drug policy is defined by Industries Department, that is chemical and fertilizer industry. So how it can go in hand into hand? Then actual health needs and needs of the medicine in the country and introduction of new medicines, as we have seen that CDSCO, how they introduce new drugs. The quality of medicines and price of medicines. Now medicines are available generic at one price, branded generic at another price, mirror generic at another price, mirror branded at another price. So many brandeds and generics are available, but quality, nobody is talking about quality. The quality of generic, the quality of branded, it is the same. Like if you go to the export, you have to have WHO GMP quality. If you go to the US, you have to go to the CGMP or current good manufacturing practices. But for domestic market, which is the old one, there is a gap. So for export, you have a good quality of medicines. And for domestic market, you have got some downgraded quality. So use of medicines and rational use of medicines, there is a difference. There is a lack of pharmacovigilance. So we are at a dilemma. How to select? How to select only essential ones? How to use properly? 2 lakhs medicines are available. How to select best quality, different quality standards, strict, soft, loose. How to detect counterfeit medicines. How to select right name, brand name, generic name, mirror brands. How to select most economic price, different prices, highest, medium, lowest. So how to come out of the situation? The plugging the gaps between national health policy and national drug policy. Which are the gaps in NHS? That is national health policy, expending less on public health care services. Second, pushing the population more and more to the unaffordable private health services. So government has to spend more on NHS. Now, what is the gaps in national drug policy? More and more non-essential medicines are being pushed into the market at the cost of non-availability, non-accessibility. There is a list of essential drugs called as National List of Essential Medicines. The moment a drug is put into the National List of Essential Drugs and price control, all private companies will stop manufacturing that and they will manufacture it as a Me Too drug or as a fixed dose combination to escape from the price control. So ultimately, the drugs which is essential, which is available under the national price control, which will not be made available to the patient. These fixed dose combinations and Me Too drugs will be prescribed. So that gap is there. So now the pharmacists can plug these gaps. Because I know pharmacists can do, this is a very good chance. The pharmacy is at the interface between healthcare and medical care. So he or she can advise on healthcare instead of medical care. What I mean to healthcare, that is promotion of health used by different other than non-medical ways than the medical ways. The pharmacist is the most easiest and most accessible point of contact in the medication management. Second, unlike physicians and nurses, pharmacists know all aspects of medicines. The physician and nurses, they don't know how medicines are invented, manufactured, marketed, what is GMP, what is CGMP, they don't know. What are the marketing strategies, what is regulations, what is price control, government policies, proper and rational use of medicine. The pharmacist is a better place to know all this. Then pharmacist knows which is essential and which are non-essential medicines. So you can easily plug these gaps. Now, we need to upgrade the pharmacist in the medication management. Now, presently, he is doing only a dispenser job, that is delivery of medicines. Now, pharmacist has to upgrade to counselor. He has to educate. And on the compliance, he has to advise. He has to work as an advisor, study the disease and audit the prescription and de-prescribe. So whatever not required, he can give it on to the changing habits of the food habits, then exercise, he can advise. Then he can be a consultant to the policymaker. So the social pharmacy need to empower the pharmacist to upgrade its role from counselor, simple counselor, to advisor, to the consultant. So he can be not as a dispenser, but we have to upskill him to the level of consultant, and that can be very well done. Now, social pharmacy need to empower and upgrade the role of from dispenser to the consultant. Currently, there is absence of social responsibility in healthcare. Under such situation, community and hospital pharmacists can play three important roles, as I told you. Counselor, that is promoting safe, quality and rational use of medicine in hospital and community as large. Advisor, promotion of methods of prevention of disease and health measures, protective of individuals and community. That is called de-prescribing. You know, in a country like Norway, if the physicians prescribes less of medicines, he's given a commission for prescribing less number of medication. If he is prescribing or lifestyle modification of lifestyles, he is given more. So that is called de-prescribing. Then he can be acted as a consultant, awareness and education of all stakeholders, regulators, manufacturers, retailers, marketing, identifying real health needs based on needs of healthcare and medicines, and help to develop national policies based on it. Now, that's why educator, as you, all the teachers, has a very important role. Now, this has been found in Kerala. If you compare the expenditure, that is the capital expenditure in US, which are expended into the health, is 3,900 per person. And life expectancy in US is 74 years. Life expectancy of male is 70 and female is 80. Infant mortality is 7. Look at the Kerala. Kerala annual per capita expenditure on health is only $28 per. But their life expectancy is 70 years. Life expectancy of female is 76 years. Infant mortality is also less as compared to the Indian mortality. Indian life expectancy in male average is 60. Kerala is 70. Female 63. Kerala is 76. Even. Why this is? Because fund allocation to education is 25%. Highest level of female literacy, that is 87%. And access to healthcare is 97%. So that is the advantage of impact of education. If you are educating your pharmacists in all, you can say won the battle. Now there is awareness is also important. Now this is also paper published in Lancet, where it was emphasized what is the importance of awareness. Now in Bihar, the life expectancy is 63. In Kerala, we have seen 76 years. The education level in Bihar is 47%. In Kerala, it is 90%. Access to health is 40%. In Kerala, it is 97%. But look at the level of satisfaction in Bihar and at Kerala. In Kerala, people are not satisfied, but Bihar people are satisfied. Why? Because they are not aware about what is best available. Bihar people are not aware about, but Kerala people, they want more. They know that this can be done, and what is the health care, what is the difference between medical care and health care. So that's why they want more, and they are more awareness. So that is the importance of education and awareness. So that is I think the role of educator to develop and empower the pharmacist into the these roles of you can say to carry out their roles of counselor, then educators and advisors and consultant, and make them aware of all these policies. Thank you very much. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll stop share.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir.
okay.
Yeah.
So it was audible and everything could see now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's audible. And now that all the participants that here, whatever the Sarodhikas are discussed, this is regarding the social pharmacy. Now today we'll start our next that point is related to the question answer session, and that we already shared the what a questions to the what a participant. So we'll start the what a discussion regarding the questions.
ಹೌದೌದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕರೀರಿ. ಸರಿ.
Please wait, I will share the questions in the chat box so that we'll discuss regarding that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In the chat box, there are some questions. The first one is, after going through the syllabus, that don't you think that there is the total disconnect or the gap between the competency expected and the theory taught, that how do you address this gap, sir? As the first question.
No, that was the lecture for now. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
now we have identified the shortcoming and gaps.
Yes.
Now, in the theories, I have gone through your social pharmacy syllabus. Everything is there, but it is not connected to reality. So now you have to connect. Now they have discussed about the different types of preventive measures, preventive medicines, then what are the different types of ways that can be done. But what is the reality? Medicines are available, but they are in plenty. The healthcare is not there. Medical care is there. So we have to push the bar to the healthcare. And as I told you, pharmacy is at the central place. And he can do a lot of things. And I think that this is a very good opportunity to our profession to come forward and show the community that, see, we can do a lot of things. And after now, as I told you, I am working in some tribal areas, and I have trained few of the tribal boys and girls as a couple from each village to how to measure blood pressure, how to measure the blood glucose, which are very easily available, and digital apparatus are available. So your pharmacist, if he does that, ultimately the community will come to him. So instead of only dispensing the medicine and doing the job of just, you can say, distributing the medicine, you can offer these services at your pharmacy, at your medical pharmacy colleges. You can have online, you can say, questions for the patients linked to, like we are now developing one app, which will be linked to the retail pharmacy to the pharmacy college. So when a patient comes to the retail pharmacy, a QR code will be given, and the patient can take that QR code and ask on that QR code, he can connect to the pharmacy college website or where there the patient information or counseling is available. One person will be sitting there in pharmacy college, and the patient can directly ask there what are these medicines and what are his queries. By that way, you can communicate and get the contact with the community. We have lost the contact with the community. So that we need to establish by doing patient counseling services, by adopting the hospitals, nearby hospitals, establishing a patient counseling center in the hospitals of the OPD of the government hospitals. And then you can have this now lot of things available in apps now. So those apps can be used to connect to the patient, to the community. That is very important.
So that I have one doubt that social pharmacy, whatever the practicals experiment is mentioned in our syllabus. So there are some experiment which is related to or which is supposed to go through the what a hospital and will just give, that means knowledge to the what a student. Is that way is the correct when you go for the any experiment?
Yeah, you need to go to the actual hospital and show them. Otherwise, picture showing is no. See, like even in case of deficiencies, you will not believe. I showed one picture of vitamin A deficiency with some spots in the eyes. And you will not believe these village guys, they are going to the homes and finding out the vitamin A deficiency. So if you see the actual patients and train them, the pharmacists, see, this is the symptoms of vitamin A deficiency, this is a vitamin B deficiency, these are the scurvy. They have not seen the actual patients. So even at the looking, because I have worked in medical college, I can see this person is suffering from anemia. So like that, they need to be trained at the site. That is what we are lacking. Not all clinical language, this hi-fi clinical or medical knowledge, but this simple like deficiencies of vitamins and different ways of using contraceptive pills, and because then different ways of using the instruments, as I told you, BP apparatus. Now patients are using, there are wearable apps are available for patients. So why they will come? But if you go through the pharmacist, it will have got some base. It will not be misused. It will be correctly used, right? When a pharmacist goes with the digital BP this meter and measures the BP, he has got a basic knowledge. No, the patient does it. He is likely to make mistakes, but pharmacist will not do. So you need to train, empower our pharmacists in these simple techniques. By this way, they will go to the community. You have to go to the hospital and teach them all these things.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Here I request your participant, if you want to ask some questions, then please.
I will ask to Dr. Bhatt, Mahadev Bhatt, how do you find my presentation?
No, it was very good, and there are a lot of takeaways. I do understand that I think most of the population here is teachers, and they are trying to find out what is in the syllabus and what can we teach. Yes. There are a lot of things here, and I will give you a very small example which really happened, because my expertise in the application of the medication. That's where my expertise are. 2 weeks back, there is a high school here called Whitney High School or Whitney School. Lot of girls were noticed to have a UTI. 700 girls.
Oh.
So all of a sudden, there was a rush to the pharmacy for Bactrim DS.
Bactrim DS, yeah. It's the drug of choice.
they ran out of it. Now, around 9 o'clock in the evening, I was informed that we can't find Bactrim. Do you have any friends who has got Bactrim? I said, but why are you giving? At least tell me. He says, this is
Yes.
the reason. I said, yeah, either you give Bactrim or you can give Caflex for 3 days, and then by the time Bactrim comes, you can switch it over because
Right.
cephalosporin also will work on that,
Right.
So the second question was that we don't have any more capsules. I said, well, it is the responsibility of a pharmacist to convert the capsule prescription into the liquid prescription. You don't need doctor's permission,
Exactly.
So when you are talking about finding the gap and upgrading it, we don't have to tell them you do this. There should be something from within
Yes.
that, yes, you can do that.
You can do it.
Now, when it comes to me, now I started thinking, I said, what happened? It's 9 o'clock. So I called my friend who is in charge of the Los Angeles County pharmacy division. I know him because he and I took the exam at the same time, but he's a lot younger than me. I said, get ready tomorrow because you might have to bring the county into the school because we will have to isolate where did this infection came. He says, you're damn right, it is. But he said, school has not told us. I said, I will make it sure that you get the information. So there is a county supervisor whom I know very well. And the county supervisor position is like a collector, she's a lady. So next day morning, I called Supervisor and I said, something is going on. And I think this is your district, if you want to get reelected, you should go and visit the school.
Visit, yeah.
And he says, what do you think? I said, well, separate the people, those who have taken vaccines, those who have not taken vaccines. 500 girls were not vaccinated and they were taking the medication, dexamethasone, and there is a new thing, right? Ivermectin or something like that.
Ivermectin, yeah, ivermectin.
Now these are the white people. They don't believe in vaccine.
And ivermectin is a drug which is a very old drug.
Yeah. Now the supervisor took the decision. They sent those 500 girls home for 1 week. No, vaccine. You cannot tell people to take vaccine or not because that's a personal choice.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Republican and vaccine don't go together,
So quarantine for 1 week.
1 week. And 200 girls, everybody took antibiotics for 3 days as a safety. But this is what happens when you take a wrong kind of drug. People don't know that steroid will be susceptible to any kind of infection.
Any type of.
So then I asked the question. I said, find out that does anybody has got gastritis or they are taking Pepsid AC or something like that? Because if they are taking this thing, the second thing is that we are going to have some stomach ulcer problem.
Yes.
So the county came in, then the cops came in, and they examined each and every student. Now, nobody had taught me to do this. It is from within you that what are your social responsibilities. Your lecture was excellent. You are saying it, that finding the gap, upgrading yourself. But teachers are the only one who can tell their student that how they can do that. And I think that's what you were saying,
Yes,
it is in the syllabus or it is not in the syllabus.
Not syllabus.
Yeah.
No,
but you heard, and there is a very simple thing. B Farm, D Farm or Farm D. If each and every students make a medicine profile of their family.
Yeah, you came to the point, exactly.
Bring it to the college. I know the drugstores, they don't do any counseling. I know that. But
they don't.
By getting the medication profile of only of your students' family, you will find out that how many duplication of drugs are there.
Yes.
Because somewhere you mentioned that there are 2 million drugs and there are a lot of combinations, and people are taking. But this is where we have to go. And students will have something new to do. And I was doing some calculation. If each student can give 1 hour for social pharmacy, we can achieve a lot of things because
Yes, you're right.
There is a great opportunity.
Yes, this is the opportunity. And now the pharmacy profession, pharmacy profession should come forward. because they are at the interface and they can use this opportunity very well.
Yesterday, I was on another seminar with Dr. Joshi. They were talking about some dementia drugs, And one thing struck me. I said, if a patient comes to the pharmacy for a prescription of a Aricept, it should trigger him that either he has got a dementia or he is going towards the Alzheimer's. Look at his age. What is the age of the patient is?
Right.
Does he look 60? Yeah. He is liable to fall down.
Yeah.
It is anti-cholinergic drug. Maybe you can tell them that, uncle, we might give you the medication at home. We will deliver it to you.
Yes.
Then he is going to trust you.
Yes.
Once the patient gives you a trust to the pharmacist, you have opened the door.
Yes. And he will always come to you.
And I think teachers can do it better than us. I'm not a teacher. I'm a practical man who talks about, but when teachers can figure out, and your lecture was very eye-opening. You didn't say everything, do this, but you gave them enough holes. There was a light going through. So I appreciate what you said,
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Dr. Bhatt and Dr. Sarvadekar, this is Isha Patel. I'm a faculty at a pharmacy school at Marshall University. It's located in Huntington, West Virginia. And since we're talking about social pharmacy, I would like to say that in my school, every student compulsory has to per semester spend 4 hours in community service. And students end up spending a lot more hours actually every semester. So certainly, I think now there is a trend towards doing a lot of community service, and I think that social responsibility, I do see a lot more in students, in recent times or in the recent decade as opposed to before.
Hello.
She got cut off.
No, I'm here. I just made my point.
No.
Okay.
I'm glad that you are there because on the West Coast, take a look at UOP. The guy who graduated from UOP, he's going to jump first as soon as he sees somebody needs a counseling. That culture is there. You have to create a culture. And that is the responsibility of a college.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that West Virginia is among one of the success stories with vaccination. Also, the population is really low of this state, so must be less than 1 crore, I would say. And the thing is, what people did is, because we don't have a whole lot of chain pharmacies, so the state government partnered with a lot of independent pharmacies. We have a lot of independent pharmacies. And I would say we only have 3 pharmacy schools in the state, but the students in my school, there are students that must have vaccinated 100 and 200 people. So, I felt that at the time of COVID, I think students really stepped up and showed a lot of social responsibility. So, that's it. But go ahead, Dr. Bhatt.
That is a very good point, because I became the vaccinator when nobody was a vaccinator. We all went to Colorado to the school and applied for that, and that time there was no vaccination here. The students in the pharmacy colleges, they are blessings to the community pharmacy, because we just wait for them so they can take care of all the vaccination. They are trained so well. So we get a breather. So she is right, but in India it is not there. So eventually
because they are not trained. You need to train them, and these are the simple techniques.
It takes 7 hours. It takes 7 hours. That's all. That's all maximum. Buy some apples and buy some oranges and find out how to put the needle in.
But again, it has to come to our national policy, because these are some decisions they have to be taken by the leaders, national, our health ministers. They may not allow pharmacies in the present context. So our Pharmacy Council of India has to write to the government that, see, there are about 3 lakhs pharmacists per year. We are graduating. Use that force for vaccination.
No,
So
you are right.
that proposal has to go from Pharmacy Council to Indian government.
You are right. You are right. But if you teach something in a school,
yeah, that is there.
Then the public can go to the school and they can get the vaccination. That's what the other person is saying, because they teach them in the school how to get vaccinated. And there is a professor or there is a doctor who has got a protocol, so all these students are covered, because in America, the liability is the number one issue. So nowadays, the students, when they come out of the college, they are already trained to be a vaccinator. So to teach in a school, I don't, you have to get, I don't know what India does, but I think it's doable. She has a very good point.
Yeah, I would actually even go ahead. I want to just say that the booster that I got, the pharmacist that was on duty, I taught her, and not vaccination, but I only do pharmacy administration type of courses. I'm a pharmacy administration faculty, but we had another student from University of Charleston, and it was, I would say, it's one of the best shots I received. It was not really painful. And I told her that, I complimented her on the shot, and she's like, you know what, Dr. Patel, I actually, this is my, I have done more than 300-400 shots. So I think that pharmacy students are very good vaccinators. And yeah, it's just a matter of, and I think in India also, some places voluntarily, I think in presence of physicians, students and pharmacists are vaccinating right now in India, but it's not on a big scale. So I think
because the government approval is very important. Government has to approve. That is the important, because otherwise, once the government, as I told you, 3 lakhs pharmacies per year, we are graduating in India. There's a big force.
Dr. Suresh, what she is saying is that if a doctor has got a protocol, and suppose somebody is working for a doctor, you don't know that she's a RN or not, but she works for the doctor, so she can give an injection. So what she is saying is that some doctors have offered to have a protocol. And then the students are there, they can give a shot. That's the way I learned it. When I became a vaccinator, it was under the doctor's protocol. And that's what Dr. Patel is saying.
And this is all on voluntary basis. Of course, I know it's not legal yet because there's no policy, but I still feel that when pharmacists, take such steps, it portrays them in a good light, and it can sort of set up examples of the capabilities of pharmacists in India, and I think it's at least a right path we are taking towards formulating a policy.
You're right.
No, you are right, Dr. Patel, because very recently I was talking to the Indian consulate in San Francisco, and they asked me to give them the procedure for the doctor protocol, So things are on its way in India, because this new health minister, he gathers the information first and then he calls the meeting. So the reason the Indian council asked me to do that, and I have done this over so many years, very soon it is going to come to India, that they would like to find out how to do that. So it is in the works, and he is a good guy, Mansukh Bhai, he's from my town, he's a good guy. I think that's his name, right? Mansukh Mandavia is the health minister.
Mandavia.
Yeah, he's from Saurashtra, he's from Amreli. So it will come.
A big force is there, it should be utilized. That's the idea.
Dr. Patel, you should do some seminars in India.
Good morning, sir. This is Mahesh Pawar, principal from Maharani Allebodkar College of Pharmacy, Boradi. It is located in Dhule district. So in continuation with your talk, I must have to add some points.
Yes.
So main outcome of this course, this social pharmacy subject, that is to involve the pharmacist, mainly pharmacy institute, in a national health program. As you told that personal willingness is very important for involvement in such type of programs, but tendency of human, that is compulsion, is very important, necessary for working. So instead of getting a better results voluntarily, Indians are giving better results in compulsions. So there is need of compulsion from the government side. That is the
That's what I
involvement
told
of pharmacy institute in these health programs. So suppose now I am running this institute in a village. So there is a primary health center is there, PSC. So the authorities of PSCs in concern with the government or Jilla Parishad, they can make a compulsion to my institute, using the population of my institute, a strength of my institute for working in this national health program. So it is initiation. There is need of initiation from the local authorities which are related to government. Suppose we are talking about local authorities, so Jilla Parishad can initiate, and the pharmacy institute in that Jilla Parishad, or we are talking about suppose any taluka place or a district. So the health authorities within that area, they can make the compulsion, they can shortlist the pharmacy institute in that area. They can utilize the students or the faculty of the pharmacy institute as a compulsion in this this health programs. So it will result better instead of voluntary paid.
No, for that, as I told you, now the pharmacy council, all pharmacy college has to approach to Pharmacy Council of India, and council will approach to the health minister. Health minister in place will give to the your ZP and all those, and then it will come. So as you rightly said, there should be some legal status or authority to do that first, so that the people will not, you can say, refuse. Who are you? Like that.
That is why I added my point in this your discussion.
Yes, you're right. Otherwise, Asha worker is doing the same thing. Why not a pharmacist?
Pharmacist means government will get the public population strength free of cost, at least for 4 years.
Exactly. And we have a lot force. I told you, 3 lakhs pharmacists per year.
It will result into the training of pharmacists also. There is no need of additional training after completion.
Additional training, yes. You can adopt one PSC nearby.
And already I am working on this. Already I am working under Unnat Bharat Abhiyan and PSC and trying to train my pharmacy students in this area.
Good.
Hello, sir. If we have little time.
Yes, please.
Myself, Dr. Shilpa. I'm from Goa. So very nice webinar, actually, stating the duties, possible duties of the pharmacist. Subsequently, nice discussion with Mahadev sir and Dr. Patel. It was good, sir. But over here, I wanted to add, like, as Mr. Pawar also said correctly, that few things has to come compulsorily, as you are also saying that there are many things what needs to be proposed by Pharmacy Council of India.
Yes.
Now, apart from the technical issues, underutilization of the pharmacy services is there. Even in pharmacovigilance, are not utilizing them.
Yeah.
This part of comes now that whenever we talk about any human, as a human, student, pharmacist, anyone, the feeling of belongingness and value inculcation should be there. He himself will feel. Now, doing anything compulsory for anyone will not work out that well. Okay, if rather, like, he's doing himself. So maybe, like, I was thinking that in the pharmacy curriculum only, why we are not adding anything which is value-based, human value-based. Now in AICT, if you see, AICT has introduced few human value courses at IIT level. IITs have adopted them and giving the extra credit for those courses if the student is completing. Okay, similarly, even in our area, means by Pharmacy Council of India and the normal curriculum only, why we are not adding anything to human value based, which is an integral part of the new education policy also, if you see.
Yes, you are right. So you need to inculcate these values, social values first.
The belongingness, then like, we are a part of the community. Everyone can be happy. Like, we can be happy if everyone is happy. Or maybe like, empathizing the situation of the patient.
Right.
And something like, the sense of responsibility. So those
Yes,
all
very
things are most like, as a human, what should be your feelings and how you should express it. Okay, the curriculum and the college level only is the best platform wherein like, we can train the students,
Yeah.
not only
Yes,
training
yes.
them with respect to medicine.
Dr. Shilpa, you're right.
Yes, sir.
But
Because I
there is a
strongly feel like there's a gap in the education. Like we are only
Yes.
focusing on the technical part of it, but not never on like the ethical part of it. We talk
Ethical,
lot about,
yeah.
yeah, we'll talk a lot about pharmaceutical ethics, but are we teaching them the ethics? So this is a
No,
piece.
that was lacking in medical syllabus also. So
Yes,
now
sir,
they have
yes,
introduced in the first
every
year.
Yeah, sir. Every year
They have introduced in
and
medical MBBS syllabus this ethical part and how to
even
behave with the patient and all those, because a lot of complaints were coming of beating doctors and fights between doctor and patients now. So
Yes,
that,
sir, yes,
as you said, the empathetic view was lacking.
yeah,
So that has
exactly.
been now introduced in the medical syllabus.
Even IITs have adopted like where they
Yeah,
are
it
not
needed.
in direct relation with the public at such a high level institution. If they're finding a need of introducing the course, even we should think of it once, like for the purpose of inculcation.
Yes, you are absolutely right.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Shilpa ma'am, I also agree with your whatever the discussion regarding that UHV, and it's my pleasure that that UHV, that universal human value, the subject which is added in our syllabus for the diploma and for the pharmacy because of our Dean University, and we just upgraded our syllabus and we added that UHV subject or the course in the first year pharmacy student.
Okay, so you are giving extra weightage for it.
Yeah,
Extra
for the
credit.
pharmacy, yes, extra credit for the bachelor student and grade for the OT diploma student.
But that is out of syllabus, no?
Yeah, out
That is
of syllabus. Yeah,
Ah.
out of syllabus. But that additional course is there.
Additional.
Yeah.
So that need to be done. You don't have to wait for syllabus also.
Yeah. That means which is depend on you.
These autonomous, they can adopt actually. For us being affiliated to university, this is not in our hands.
Yes, absolutely correct. Yes.
So
I
maybe
think
like
Dr.
Hello?
Dr. Suresh, you gave one very good example. You talked about very briefly on birth control. Birth control pill. The birth control pill contains estrogen. Generally, they are taken by a woman, right? The estrogen has got a capacity of absorbing more calcium.
More calcium. Yeah, I know.
The woman is going to lose calcium during the menopause. So there is a simple guidance when somebody comes to pick up a birth control pill. You can tell them that why don't you buy some calcium citrate?
Calcium.
It is good for your health. That's the social
Simple,
service.
yes, simple things.
It's over the counter, And there are a lot of things. It's innovation what you do, but it has to come from the teachers because they can get through the students' head. I knew it, whatever my teacher taught me,
Right.
So teachers are the best person to let the students know.
Now here in India, we use allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurvedic, all combined together. So when a person comes to you in a retail pharmacy, you need to ask which Ayurvedic medicines you are taking, which homeopathic medicines you are taking. So you are on of it. You cannot see the interaction. They are happening. We don't know. We have not studied it. That doesn't mean that there is no interaction between Ayurvedic and homeopathic and Ayurvedic and allopathic. So these.
Dr. Shilpa, what part of Goa you are from?
Sir, just one sec. Sir, I'm from Fonda, sir.
Fonda. So how far it is from Panjim?
Sir, Panjim it is 30 kilometers.
Okay. There is a very good friend of mine there. Say hi to him. Hindu Pharmacy.
Yeah, Mr. Rajvaidya.
Yeah, tell him that Dave says hi, okay? He's a very nice man.
Yes, sir. Actually, Rajvaidya, sir, we are in constant association with him. Initially, we were in association because of IPA CPD division of Goa, and our college undertakes many patient counseling camps.
Yeah.
From 2012. So that was the first association what we did, and the second part is now because he's a mentor of WRC ACPI.
Oh, very good. I saw him in 2001. I haven't seen him since that. But in 2001, he did more for the patient than what we did in America. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is actively involved in patient counseling services.
Man, that guy is something else. In 2001, his wife was teaching a woman how to do the breastfeed the baby. You know, there was a separate room in the pharmacy.
Yes,
He's
sir.
an amazing person. You know, Goa is very lucky to have him.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's around 10:30 here. So can I say good night to all of you? And Dr. Suresh, it was nice meeting you.
Yeah. Nice meeting. Nice meeting.
Let's stay in touch. Okay. Give your phone number to Dr. Somani and then I'll write you something. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Let's stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Somani, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye. Hey, how are you doing?
Dr. Suresh?
Yes.
Oh, I just wanted to thank you for a wonderful presentation. Just before leaving, I just wanted to make a point on social pharmacy. I wanted to tell you that when, in US, most of the schools, pharmacy schools will interview students. So we generally look for what is their motivation to join the School of Pharmacy. So just a high PCAT score is not good enough. So basically, there's an explosion of pharmacy schools, and it's about filling seats as well, or get a certain score on your entrance exam. So I feel like down the road, if you actually have, and I don't know if what is the policy for that, but if you have a simple, some interview questions to the students, you might actually able to enroll students that show more social responsibility and empathy and emotional intelligence down the line.
Right.
So I mean, a course is also fine, but again, I feel like someone joining a health profession, they certainly are invested in their patients and the society. Otherwise, you would not join medicine or pharmacy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, but anyways, excellent point by Dr. Shilpa, and it was a good discussion. So we will stay in touch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Patel. Even you are invited, as Mahadev sir said. Maybe you can guide few of the points. You can give a scenario, how we are practicing. So that will be helpful to our students as well. If anytime you are interested, maybe.
Certainly. So I'm one of the mentors for the West region
Yes.
for the ACPI. So we are actually with Mr. Vaidya and a few of the other mentors. We are actually about how to educate pharmacists so that they can provide these services to the community. So certainly there would be very fruitful discussion. I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion in the future. But yes, I mean, it's always good to know more people through such talks. Certainly, if you want Dr. Shilpa, you can, at a later time, you can ask Dr. Somani or someone at DY Patil, and you can take question.
Sure, ma'am, sure.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. All right. It's also 1:30 in the morning at my place, so I'll be off now as well. Okay.
Okay. Nice meeting you.
Yeah, same here, sir. Bye.
Bye.
I request here all participant that one link is shared in the chat box, and that is feedback. Submit that feedback from within 10 minutes. After that, it will be the close. Okay, and immediately we'll get the that certificate. Yes, Prabhu ma'am. No ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible ma'am.
So thank you, sir, Educator sir, for the excellent talk.
No, there are disturbances.
Yes,
at my institute, that is J.Y. Patil University School of Pharmacy in Nerul. So
You are not audible.
to go through when they're teaching the subject.
hello. Sorry to interrupt, Priyanka ma'am. There is something network.
We end up sticking to the syllabus as is mentioned. So there is like people is very important. If you take students to see the real picture, like of teaching them about say microbiology, which I'm currently teaching, what are the diseases which are there? Like how are they diagnosed and contribute once they are.
Yeah.
Hello, Priyanka ma'am.
So there has to be a practical component. I believe that they can be given some kind of training, then they can visit media centers, get how they can contribute in a better way, rather than just having theoretical knowledge about whatever we are teaching them, be it your communicable disease or any other kind of diseases. And same is true for all the other aspects which we are teaching them. When we are teaching them, like say methods of contraception or about immunization programs and all, if we can give them some training, those devices and all that training has to be given. The even basic first aid, which is there in the syllabus, how that can be given. If you want to treat like a dog bite or a snake bite, basic first aid measures and all that training, if we can give them, then they will be able to contribute better once they are done with the program. So there has to be more focus on practical training, more involvement rather than just learning the subject in theory. So that's all from my side. I could a lot of key takeaways from this lecture, which you pointed out the gaps in the system currently, that we are only focusing, like it's the market which is driving the research and all. There should be a need-based research. The need should be driving the research in that area. Like you pointed out, Kala and all, there are no treatment options available, Japanese encephalitis and also. Like there are so many neglected diseases, especially in a country like India, wherein we don't even know that there is a need for that, because that is not really focused on. More of the focus is on the lucrative part of it, developing medicines for all the lifestyle diseases and all.
Yeah.
So that's where we can maybe motivate this generation. When we are teaching them, we can motivate them to undertake research and all in this area, see what we can do as pharmacists to contribute to these niche areas and unmet needs in healthcare.
Yes.
So that's all from my side, making us aware about all these gaps in the current system.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Now there is the one message from the Sushila. Okay, link is not visible, but this is working. You just try once again. Now this is the time so that conclude this meeting. So that dear all, we have to reach to the end of this talk. And I would like to thank and extend my gratitude to the our guest, Dr. Suresh Sarodekar, for spending his valuable time and gratitude us on this talk. And I'm thankful to all faculties for their presence. And I last that I'm thankful to our principal, Dr. Rakesh Somani sir, for providing this platform and his valuable guidance. And I once again thanks our guest, Dr. Suresh Sarodekar sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So will you send me feedback?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please. Huh?
Yeah. Evening, I will send you the feedback, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
It's really a nice talk, sir.
Yeah, and it go on because these people from US, they participated, so it become more live.
Right, yes. That doubt from my side, sir, that when you go for the practical, there are some assignment and there are some field visits is there mentioned. And
Yeah.
in this situation, is it possible to visit some other field? There are some visitors that mentioned, for example.
We can arrange, because I am working in Palghar district tribal areas. You tell me, we will arrange it.
Okay.
To the villages.
Okay, villages.
Because
There
we
are some, whatever they mention, like sewage wastage platform. Then second one is a garbage wastage, and there are some other.
That is also possible.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
But I will send you feedback, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.